Hi, I'm Casey, editor of GoBankingRates.com, here to talk to you about a common problem that even I've had to deal with, and that is building your credit when you don't have a sufficient credit history. Now, whether you're a young adult who has never had to get a credit card or a loan, or you just haven't used credit in a while, when you finally do want to get your hands on some credit, it can be a very frustrating process. You need a credit history to get new credit, but you can't build a credit history unless you already have credit. So I'm not sure who made up these rules, but I'll teach you how to work with them. Before I describe to you the best way to go about building a credit history, I'll give you a couple of don'ts to avoid so that it doesn't become a harder process than necessary. First of all, stop applying for credit cards, even retail cards. If one creditor has decided that you don't deserve a credit card because you don't have a history, chances are everyone's going to reject you. And every time you send in a new application, your credit score goes down a little bit. Secondly, don't bother getting a loan with a cosigner just for the sake of building your credit. Before the recession, this is a tactic that a lot of people used and it worked pretty well. But these days, creditors are much more interested in you proving that you are responsible with your money and not just your parents or your good friends. So getting a co-signed loan or even just being added as an authorized user on someone else's credit card are going to do little to nothing to actually build your credit up. So what's the answer? I would say it's a secured credit card. Secured cards are great because they prevent you from getting into trouble with debt since you provide the cash for your line of credit up front. And then when you use the card, you're essentially using up money that you've already deposited ahead of time. Plus, secured credit card activity is usually reported to the 3 credit bureaus. Now, before you run out and get a secured card, be sure to keep the following tips in mind. Number 1, ensure that the activity on your card is in fact reported to the credit bureaus. Most, but not all, secured cards report your transactions. Secondly, make your payments on time. The easiest way to ruin your credit is to make late payments. Number 3, don't max it out. Try to keep your credit utilization at 30% for the best results and keep in mind that your credit limit will probably be pretty small. Number 4, shop around for a card with low fees. Some charge ridiculous fees that just aren't worth it. And number 5, remain patient. It's going to take 6 months to a year for a secured card to build up a credit history, so be prepared to wait a while before applying for a real credit card or a loan. One secured card that does report to the credit bureaus, charges relatively low fees, and consistently gets positive reviews from actual account holders is the Orchard Bank secured card. Unfortunately, it's really easy to destroy your credit with a handful of bad decisions, but building up positive credit from scratch takes a long time. That means you're going to have to remain patient and diligent, but if you stick with it, you'll be glad you did. For more tips about building credit, visit GoBankingRates.com and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to hear more.